Okay.
Well, we were building a bonfire, and I saw some, dry brush and leaves around, so, I said to move the bonfire somewhere else, and out of nowhere, Smokey Bear shows up and hugs me.
So you noticed some wildfire hazards and moved your bonfire to a safer location.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Smokey, all right. He likes it when people help prevent wildfires. It hits him close to home. Not everybody gets the hug, my friend. So that's pretty special to get a hug from Smokey Bear.
So it was him. Hey, guys, I told you it was Smokey.
Okay, well, congratulations, my friend. And thanks for calling. There are many ways to prevent a wildfire. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Little roller up along first. Behind the see you, Pittsburgh. Can't wait. All the band is out on the field. He's going to go into the end zone. Looking, throwing in the end zone.
You're tuned into Game On with Josh Silverberg and Eric Bowe. Talking all things sports. It's
Game on!
Yeah, game on.
Game On, right here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Thursday to you. This is Game On Live on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, joining you every single Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on WSRN. You can check us out on Worldwide Sports Radio, YouTube, Instagram, Periscope, Spotify, Apple Podcast, that, and so much more. Yes, I am on the phone again, because when I got let out, the Met game ended. But it's okay. You get to see Eric's beautiful face. Eric, how you doing, man?
I am wonderful here on this Thursday. It's sunny. It's a bright day. We have a great Thursday night matchup tonight. I can't
We
say
do?
that. You're right. I couldn't say it with a straight face. But there's football tonight, which is always a good night. Lots to cover in sports. Josh, how are you?
I'm good, man. Also, Speedy Petey on the board, of course. A couple of shouts. Want to give a shout, of course, to my mom. Her birthday today. I'm sure Snug's going to love that. Happy birthday to her, of course. Eric, to your son, man. Happy birthday to Chris yesterday, dude.
The big four. Crazy.
Yep.
And you know
crazy,
what?
And then, of course, and my... Go on, Eric.
Another birthday shout-out if they're listening. A cousin. Shout-out to happy birthday to a cousin Christian.
Okay. How about that? And then last but not least, of course, my niece. Her birthday yesterday as well. You know, my niece Harper. So happy birthday to her. A lot of birthdays in September.
Crazy.
It's a lot of birthdays. You had Carter's birthday earlier in the month.
September.
My son. So it was September. It's September, man. But they always tell you to wake you up when September ends, though.
And wait, one more. Upcoming, too, we have the father-in-law's birthday, too. So I know he tunes into the show sometimes, so I want to give him a shout-out as well.
Oh, he deserves it, that's for sure. I got to talk to him a little bit at Chris's party the other day. That was fun. Gave me good advice, too, actually, on keeping things in certain places. So it was good advice and helpful. But we have a lot to get to. We're going to discuss Week 3 and preview it. We're going to recap Week 2 of the NFL. The Jets are dead, so we'll get into that.
1 week, and they have a serviceable quarterback for this week. But get ahead.
Yeah.
What else?
You know, so we'll get into that. We'll touch on the baseball a little bit as we wind down the last 2 weeks of the season. It's fast approaching. We'll get into that. But a couple things touch on. First off, if you didn't hear the news, great actor passed away yesterday. Robert Redford passed away, unfortunately, yesterday. And if you don't know him from the movie The Natural, my father has his shirt, Roy Hobbs, the New York Knights, passed away. Obviously, if you know him from All the President's Men, which is a fabulous movie if you haven't seen it, about Watergate, Spinal Tap, all these different movies. I'm sure there's others my father's going to text me about, so on and so forth. But really, when you also, what was interesting, if you were watching the Met game, what was it, a couple nights ago, when Brett Beatty hit a home run, they actually had, like, they were pretending with the lights flickering and the fireworks happening, like in The Natural. They did the graphic like that, so that was kind of cool. I thought I'd touch on that a little bit. But The Natural is a great movie. If you haven't seen it, fabulous.
Josh, even though this is a sports show, right? We go over all pro sports, obviously, throughout the entire nation, right? Not just New York sports, but all of the above. We also watch other shows that are sports related, right? Like,
That's for
I
sure.
don't know if you've heard, but there's a show on Netflix featuring the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones. You get a chance to see any of it yet?
So I finished it today.
Oh,
I know, Eric, you have to catch up a little bit.
no.
I finished it today. And it's a lot to take in. It's a lot to digest. A quick synopsis is basically how Jerry Jones bought the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. There's a lot. They interview a lot of they interview Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Jimmy Johnson's in it, Barry Switzer's in it. It's really, obviously Jerry and his kids are in it. Roger Goodell is in it. George Bush is in it. There's a lot of intriguing parts and people. North Turner was in it. Dave Wanstead.
Jimmy Johnson?
I said Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson was in it. Barry Switzer was in it. Yep, they were all. Tony Romo. All of them were in it, and basically it talks about how Jerry bought the Cowboys and how he wanted to turn the Cowboys, which was a struggling franchise at the time when he bought them. It was at the down peak of Tom Landry. Tom Landry was a god, if you know, with the Dallas Cowboys. One of the first things Jerry Jones did was he let Tom Landry go. And basically he wanted to turn the Dallas Cowboys into an entertainment conglomerate. He wanted to make them the spectacle. It wasn't just about football on the field and everything like that, but it was also what he wanted to do with how to build up the franchise, considering how poor they were in the 80s. They were not great. They were the team in the 90s. We could sit here and they are now, to this day, they are the richest organization in all of the sports in the world at $11.5 billion. And Jerry said during this show, they said, "Would you ever sell?" And he said, "I am in this until the end." And Jerry will never give it up. To me,
that seems to make sense.
People
tell me there's not a lot of controversy with Jerry Jones in terms of how he ran things, how he did things, and I'm sure the documentary will pick up on a lot of that.
The documentary literally gave out. They talk about literally how, like I said, how he bought them. It talked about how CBS was struggling with the NFL at the time, with the media rights and with the what else was it? It was the viewership and everything like that. And basically, the NFL already had, the NFL had set sponsors. They had Coca-Cola, they had Visa, they had all the different sponsors. They were, Reebok was their sponsor. And Jerry Jones said, no, I'm going to go the opposite and make more money and go to those companies, basically competitors. And they talk about how he signed with Pepsi and he signed with American Express and he signed with Nike and he walked on the field with the Nike owner on a Monday Night Football game. And, he talks about, drafting Michael Irving and, signing Ryan Haley and drafting Troy Aikman and drafting Emmitt Smith and signing Deion Sanders was a stressful thing. And everybody thought he was nuts when he signed Deion because at the time the bonus that he was giving him was outlandish and there was no way that anybody could afford it. And really, when you watch it, but then, you get into the whole, him and Jimmy Johnson were best friends. They were in Arkansas together as teammates, and Barry Switzer was the head coach, or was an assistant coach, and Barry Switzer and Jimmy Johnson hated each other, and Jimmy and Jerry left, and it ended on bad terms, and he hired Barry Switzer, who hadn't coached in 5 years, and rubbed everybody the wrong way, and he made it was just crazy. It was madness just watching it, and it gets into all the personal stuff from Ryan Haley's bipolar disorder to Michael Irvin's arrest, Troy Aikman's 12 concussions. It's a lot. It just to him working with Bill Parcells, Jerry Jones. It was just it was wild.
It sounds like this is definitely, if you have the time, check it out. I believe it's on Netflix, right?
It's on Netflix. It's definitely worth the watch because it goes deeper than just football. It goes into how the brand of the Dallas Cowboys is what it is today, and how basically Jerry was basically going off the grid with different ideas and theories. He felt the NFL was behind the 8 ball, and he said, no. We got to do it this way. We got to make it a thing. You know what I mean? Like we gotta make it a spectacle. And now look at and I will say this: I can't stand. We know this. I cannot stand. I know you. I cannot stand the Dallas Cowboys. I know you hate them too. I can't stand their fans. I can't stand them. I will tell you this: Jerry Jones is one of the reasons the NFL is the way it is today, and why it's the billion-dollar conglomerate that it is today, because of Jerry Jones, because of what he did, going off the grid with sponsorships and signing with companies and adding different intakes to different organizations, but also making it an entertainment spectacle. I mean, they talk about when he built the new football stadium, and they talk about the new multi-million-dollar practice facility that he bought, that he created, and they were just an entertaining bunch, because they were a good team in the 90s. They were horrible when they first signed him, because the crazy thing was, again, you have to remember, he made himself the owner, but he also made himself the president, the CEO, and the GM. And one of the first things he did was he fired Tom Landry. And everybody in Dallas thought that was a sin. Who was this crazy mofo from Arkansas firing Tom Landry?
Hiring Barry Switzer and
oh my God, they have the Barry Switzer press conference, and Barry Switzer had some energy. I tell you that much. That guy was, we're gonna do it, baby. I was like, my God. I said, this guy's got some energy, and it was really. They talk about, the big rivalry with the 49ers, and Jerry Rice is in it, and Steve Young is in it, and I think the owner of the 49ers at the time was in it. Really, it was really just, something to watch. You talk about Emmitt Smith and when he broke the record, but after when he left to go to the Cardinals and what it was like. It was a lot. It was really just a drama-filled 8-episode voyage. And every episode had something unique and different about it, where you were like, oh my God, it's like, I have to watch another one. And then when it was over, you're like, I want to hear more. I want to hear about the Micah Parsons trade now. What was the drama during that trade stuff?
I like it. I think we'll tune into.
Yeah, but like I said, and Jerry will never he will always put the Cowboys first. And like I said, I'm probably going to lose you in a few minutes. I'm getting into the house soon, actually.
All right.
But if you haven't checked it out, go watch it. It was one of the best documentaries I've ever. If you're not even a football fan, watch it. Like I said, it gets them. Like I said, I mean, Michael Irvin was an interesting cat. You know what I mean? You know, Deion Sanders is in it. Like I don't know because I might. Like they asked Deion Sanders, what made you special? And he goes, because I had it. And the guy goes, what is it? And he goes, well, if you have it, you know what it is. It is it. And I'm just like, I don't even know what that means. I'm like, this is why the University of Colorado sucks.
Josh, I'm trying to think you have it too, though.
Oh, what'd you say?
I said I'm starting to think you have it too.
It is. This is why Colorado sucks. Football.
Unreal.
But I'm gonna lose you in a minute. Take over the show, Erica. I'll be on in a minute.
All right, Josh, I'm going to start to transition. I know we're talking about Jerry and everything at first, but I do want to touch upon the baseball season currently and a lot of things that are going on because, ladies and gentlemen, we're hitting the crunch time, obviously, right? Lots of changes, wild card seedings, teams already clinching playoff berths, such as the Brewers, the Cubs. You have the Phillies, right? A lot of different scenarios that could still happen. Current standings, right? Yankees are 3.5 back from Toronto. I don't think they're going to do it. I think wild card seems to be in the Yankees' future here. Detroit, go figure this. I don't think anyone saw this coming. Cleveland only, again, 3.5 back of Detroit. Seattle, Houston tied in the West. The Phillies clinch already a playoff spot. The division. The Brew Crew, same thing. Division with the Cubs clinching a wild card spot already. I mean, there's going to be some fun here. Some last couple of weeks, right? Looking at the American League wild card, the Yankees are 2.5 spots up in the first wild card spot. Houston, because Seattle owns the tiebreaker, is the number 2 seed in the wild card. Boston currently has the 3 seed with Cleveland only a 1.5 games back. They're a team to watch down the stretch. Texas 4, Kansas City 7, but Cleveland and Boston can switch at any moment, right? They can switch with Houston. They're only 1 game back of Houston right now. No one saw that coming. Then you look into the National League, right? You have the Cubs, who look like they clinched it already. They at least clinched a playoff berth, but they are 9.5 up over San Diego for the first and second spot there. The Mets own the third spot with Arizona and Cincinnati 2 and 2.5 games back. That's nothing's locked up just yet. You see, like, every series matters. The Mets just took 2 out of 3 from San Diego. Helps bring them back a little bit closer, gets them back in the wild card hunt itself. You look at the other ones, right? Arizona, no one thought they'd be too back from the last wild card spot. Granted, they're only 1 game over 500. I think the tides have turned in terms of American League strength compared to National League strength, right? Let's just take a quick peek. With the Mets 5 games over 500 at 79 and 74, they would be where Texas is, and that's 4 games back from the last wild card spot. So American League surpassing the NL this year. For a while, it's always been the NL was the powerhouse, the AL was the laughingstock, but starting to think not this year. You look into, is that you, Speedy?
No.
All right, I heard a little stuff in the background. Sorry there. But looking into this, I mean, nothing set in stone, obviously, besides the teams that clinched the playoffs already. But that final spot, it's going to come down to, obviously, these last couple of weeks. It's going to get real interesting. I think we're going to get some fun baseball. But I think we're also going to get, and I'm rooting for it. I hope there's a 183rd game, right? That little 1-game mini playoff to see if you get in or not. I always love those. So the possible chance it happens this year, we shall see. Looking into some upcoming matchups, the Yankees start with the Orioles tonight, the Angels and Brewers, Giants, Dodgers, Guardians beat the Tigers. Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, keep an eye on that. They play a series right there. They could get past. Again, only 3.5 back in the division. Right there. The Red Sox lost today. The Blue Jays lost today. So the Yankees can gain some more ground, possibly. I like it. It's going to be close. I know Josh wanted to talk about his Mets and how they took 2 out of 3 from San Diego after looking mediocre at best, obviously, the past couple of days. Nice start from Jonah Tong today. It seems if he gets out of the first inning, he can go on cruise control, right? His stuff looks good in the first. You kind of know what kind of game you're going to get with him. Be a nice piece. Nolan McLean. I don't know if anyone saw this coming. His stuff looking filthy, nasty each and every game, right? I'm curious to see how the Clay Holmes, Sean Manaea stack keeps going, right? The Mets are one of those tricky teams, though. Like I don't want to just talk to them because it's New York or anything that way, but they really are a tricky team, right? When guys are on, like Lindor, Alonso, obviously Soto, like that's a tough 1 through 4 to get past and figure out. The bottom of the lineup hasn't been helping him out so much. Vientos has been a shell of himself. Alvarez, same thing. But if you have when they're locked in, like I don't know if you remember last year, right? Lindor was locked in, Alonso was locked in. It didn't matter what pitch you threw. You know, I was convinced they knew it in terms of legally figuring out if a pitcher is tipping. I feel like they were very good at that last year and really got hot when they were starting to do that. Don't know if they're doing it this year, if they were able to see it or get to it that way. But I think if they do get locked in like that, they're a tough team right there, right? Last year, the Brewers seemed to be one of the top teams. Mets went in there. Obviously, you saw Devin Williams give up the home run to Alonso, and what happened? It sparked the Mets' playoff run. So that's going to be interesting to see if they can pull that off again. Toronto is a team that they're another tricky one, right? They seem to be built when they make the playoffs, and they're a playoff team. They seem to be a team that's built more so on the regular season playoffs, right? I think for them, winning the division and not having to play in the wild card is going to be huge for them. They have to go in the wild card, and it's a shorter series like that. I think that hurts them. But they go into the divisional series, they can make a little noise, right? Vladdy's having a resurgence here, obviously. You got to keep an eye on Bichette, see if he gets healthy enough beforehand, right? He's got a sprained knee. That's going to be a little tricky. Missing time, but I think that's why he could be resting right now, obviously, too, so that he is all set come playoff time. Josh, I don't know if you heard any of that.
I didn't hear anything. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on.
Thank goodness. So
I'm not even sure Speedy heard any of it because is Speedy listening and paying attention?
I couldn't hear you. So you were trying
I wasn't saying anything, Speedy.
So Josh, basically I touched on the Mets a little bit and how
Why?
Because I wanted to get 2 cents in about the Mets before you went off tangent. Then I started talking Toronto. So we're on baseball right now. So with the Mets, I kind of did say last year they got hot at the right time, made a playoff. Kind of seemed to know what pitches were coming sometimes. They just seemed that ready.
Okay.
Not so sure they're catching it or catching the pitch tipping as much this year to a point. But again, games from kudos that they get in, they catch fire. They're going to be a team to look out for, obviously. especially with the way McLean's been pitching, the way that Lindor, Alonso, when they get hot, obviously Soto, a team that can just get carried because they're big bats, right? We also talk Toronto in terms of good regular season team when they make the playoffs, but sometimes lacklusting in the playoffs. They have a good core. Bichette's obviously injured right now, but also talked about how winning the division is more huge for them than playing in the wild card, obviously, because they're built more for a longer series than they are a shorter series. So just a couple of baseball takes. Chime in. What are your thoughts on the final couple of weeks and heading into playoffs?
I think when you touched on the Mets first, I'll touch on that first. I think when you see what the Mets were able to do these last three, I know they lost yesterday, but to win, salvage the last game against Texas, who had been hot, and get a walk-off win like they did, you figured, and then have a nice day off Monday. You figure, okay, maybe that will jumpstart them. Then they win 2 out of 3 against. If you saw the game on Tuesday, they obliterated Michael King, to the point where I was surprised. And again, Lindor, Soto, Alonso, and Nimmo are hitting well.
Mm-hmm.
When that happens, they're going to win games. Jonathan today, 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 unearned run, 8 strikeouts against the Padres. That's we
be his kryptonite, no?
What do you say?
It seems like the first inning is going to be his kryptonite.
Well, that's what it is. One thing that I noticed about Tong is when he gets through the first inning, and if he rounds up like a strikeout or 2 in a row, like today he had 6 strikeouts in a row today against the Padres, that's a really good lineup to do that against, right? Like that's hard to do. We know McLean's the best guy, and then Sproat's pitching tomorrow against Washington. Sproat's been really good too. I know some people are saying, you're asking. It's a lot of pressure for these young kids to, if they make the playoffs and they got to play a team like the Dodgers, it's a lot of pressure for them. I don't see it on those guys. I don't. Tong is just having the time of his life right now. You see how happy he is. McLean looks like a pro on the mound. You know what I mean? Like, to do what he did against the Phillies not once but twice in 2 weeks is a really difficult thing to do against that lineup. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's hard to do. To only allow 1 run in 2 starts against them. And Sproat looks like a confident kid, too. I think the comforting thing was we saw on Tuesday, we saw Clay Holmes go 4 innings, and then Minaya finish it off the last 5. I think they could go that route in a series too, and I would have no problem with that. I think ultimately, I think the Mets are going to hold on. If you saw the Diamondbacks schedule, the Diamondbacks schedule was ridiculous. I think it's like they play the Phillies at home, then they go to LA to play the Dodgers, and then they're home against the Padres. It's like lethal for them. The Giants are too inconsistent. The Reds are beyond. I don't know what the Reds get swept by the Athletics, but then win 2 out of 3 against the Cardinals. It doesn't make no sense. The Mets have Washington this weekend, and then they're going to go to Chicago and play a Cubs team that's already clinched. The division's out of their reach, so they're not winning that. They're going to hold on to the first wild card spot anyway. It doesn't matter. So they don't really have anything to play for. But then, of course, we ended, the Mets end the year with the Marlins. Why not? Right? It's so apropos to do it. I think the Mets will hang on. And now, listen, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, great, the Mets made the playoffs. The season's a success. No. I'm not going to view it that way. I'm going to be – if they lose to the Dodgers – if they make the playoffs and they beat the Dodgers in a round but, lose to the they lose to the
Phillies or Padres.
Lose to the Phillies. I'm going to be all right, fine. they got beat. You know what I mean? What are you gonna do? Like, you beat the Dodgers in the wild card round, but if they go in the wild card series and they just get lambasted, I mean, like, this is But I think the positive you could take out of this is you have you know what I mean?
Josh, I think we have a caller.
Yes, we do. It's calling. You're on the line.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah? Is that me?
Hello.
Is that me?
That's
Yes,
you.
You're on the line. Whoever.
Oh, very good. Very good. Well, thank you for taking my call. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks for calling in.
I mean, I heard what the last caller was talking about with the Mets. I'm a Yankee fan, so I can only say I think the Mets had a bit more expectations this year, and I don't think you could really look at this as a positive step in the right direction. And I think that there's going to be some personnel changes, so to speak. That pitching lab is, which was once heralded a year ago, is anything but. I think they blew up a Bunsen burner, and it's not working out too well in that lab. But I know one of the hosts on the show, and it's great to call in. I'm a big sports guy. Some call me the coach. Some call me the loudest drummer in the office. And my name is Chad, and I appreciate you guys taking my call.
Chad, thanks for calling in. I think you're not wrong that there's going to be some personnel changes depending on how far.
Eric, it's hard to hear you. Not as good as your co-host there. I could hear him perfect. But
Wow.
you're off in the
Wow, you can hear me perfectly, huh?
Phone compared to a computer. Go figure this.
That's funny.
Technology is great.
Speedy, we figured out the problem. We're just going to have to use our phones going forward. That's it.
You know what? We might have to. Terrible.
Well, at first I heard you perfectly. Now you're both off in the distance. I don't know what changed.
Well.
It's his signal. We're going to blame Coach's signal here.
I'll have to turn up my volume a little bit here. But
Josh, I don't think I'd necessarily disagree. I don't think it's the pitching coach per se, because I think he's done a lot with a little, especially in Stern's kind of system itself. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's movement with Mendoza for a more veteran type of coach, a Beltran even. I don't know if Mendoza still commands the same energy and the same camaraderie and everything with the team that he currently has. Josh, thoughts?
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Sneeze for a quick second. Give me a minute. Sorry about that. Nobody wants to see that. What was I'm sorry. What was the data that you were asking me?
Chad is thinking that there's going to be some coaching changes for the Mets, right? Mainly pitching coach-wise. I'm thinking more managerial-wise.
Nah, if they make the playoffs, they're not changing the manager. The only thing they're going to change, I'll tell you this right now, they're going to change the hitting coach. They're going to change Chavez. He's going to be out. If the young guys continue to play well and pitch well, they're not getting rid of Hefner. I think what they need to do is they need to give Hefner bona fide starters. And just not make Hefner do triple the work and do that. I thought the same thing as you. Now, if they don't make the playoffs, then I think Mendoza will be out. But they get in, he's staying. It's just, I mean, what I want to see is give me a real pitching rotation with this team. And I want to see, like I said, McLean, Sproat, and Tong are pitching well. There's really what I'm saying? Like, the development of these kids it's great because it takes up 3/5 of your rotation next year, right? Like, so you don't have to worry about that. It's Manaya's hurt. We know that he's got some elbow issues that he's going to get surgery on in the offseason. He has loose bone chips in his elbow. So he'll be back. That's your another guy. I could see Senga being traded. If Diaz opts out, I could see Holmes being the closer. and they go rat route.
That
I know Yankee fans make fun of Clay Holmes, but hey, listen, Clay Holmes was freaking better than Devin Williams. I'll tell you that much.
Maybe it's better than Weaver right now
we're
too.
okay. We've got Bednar. We're all right.
Thank good. Listen, like I said, you have Bednar for another year. That was the nice thing about that trade. Was getting him. I like Bednar a lot. It was a worry because let's call it the year before he had an ERA of near 6.5. He was atrocious the year before, but he found himself this year. It's Duvall is the guy that's not working. And Weaver too. They're gonna let Weaver go. Basically, Weaver and
Devin Williams.
Weaver and Williams are both gone. They're both gone. They're gonna get rid of those guys. Duvall, I don't know if he's under contract. If he's not under contract, I'm not sure. If he is, I'm sure they'll try to either A, trade him, or B, whatever. I know Tim Hill, he's had an okay season. It was a 1-year deal. He'll be gone. You'll see 3 or 4 new guys in the bullpen. That's what you're going to see next year. I think Bednar will be the closer. That's where I think the Yankees have to go, and I think they should go. I know the Yankees are going to be all in on Kyle Tucker. I understand that. I completely get it. They're going to throw all their chips in that basket. The thing is, I just don't know if Tucker's going to want to leave Chicago. He's apparently loves the place. I've heard the ownership is willing to give him the contract that he wants. When you're comfortable there and everything like that, it comes up a good team.
It comes down to if they're able to sign Bellinger and Tucker.
Well, that's what it's going to be. And listen, if you're going to choose between Bellinger and Tucker, it's a no-brainer. You're going to choose Kyle Tucker. It's an obvious no-brainer. I mean, it's not close.
I think the Yankees probably choose Bellinger.
I think that would be silly. That would be an egregious decision-making on their part. Listen, Brian Cashman's also the same goober that said that he thought Bryce Harper did not fit the team at the time. Okay.
First base. Oh,
okay.
That's funny.
That's funny. I can't stand Bryce Harper either. I would have taken him on my team in 5 seconds. I don't care. I don't really care.
No, I mean,
doesn't matter to me. But they're gonna get, they gotta get younger at first base with Goldschmidt. And the thing is, like a team like Toronto, I think they're gonna bring Bichette back. It really is big when you sign your own players, right, Eric? You bring your own guy back. It brings camaraderie in the clubhouse. And all of a sudden, George Springer's playing like he did 6 years ago. Like, whoa. That was the big turning point.
I think the caller's still on. Just double checking. Coach, you still there?
Yeah, I guess. You still with us, Chad?
Wow, you guys got clear again. How'd that work?
Well, I'm the producer. I'm in the studio right now. I guess it's easier for here.
So I hear great.
They're not in the studio, but you have any final questions, Chad?
Well, no, I was just looking forward to being part of the conversation, but it's a little difficult because I couldn't really hear too well what was going on. But good, but have fun. I appreciate it. I'll try again another time.
All right, thanks for calling.
Thanks,
Chad.
man.
Come on, bud.
Okay.
But for a Yankees standpoint, because you bring up an interesting point, why would you not want to bring Bellinger back? Right?
Well, I'd rather Tucker.
Yeah, I get that, but you have Bellinger, part of the team chemistry already, can play first base if and when needed, can play all outfield positions, right? Tucker's your right fielder. Is Tucker going to play left? Is Tucker going to play center?
Well, Tucker can play left because Tucker played a little bit of left with the Astros, but I'm also going to take the guy who's the younger. He's the younger player, has a much higher upside of the player. You got to remember that.
That's trick, but the Yankees' needs and in terms of what you're going to get, like, let's look at the. Hold on, I'm going to pull up the stats between them real quick.
Oh man, the Knicks did not get Dennis Smith Jr. He's going back to the Mavericks. Shoot. I'm sorry. Go on.
No. Keep going. I'm going to pull this up.
Well, after you're done with that, we'll get into the football.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Speedy, what are your thoughts on Dennis Smith going to the Mavericks over the Knicks?
Enjoy being coach. Enjoy being on a team that Nico is the GM.
Okay.
Well, I heard Anthony Davis. He might not even be ready for opening night.
All right. Here you go, Josh. According to StatHead Baseball, comparison of Kyle Tucker and Cody Bellinger. Who do you think has who has a higher WAR?
You're gonna say Cody Bellinger.
Okay. Now we're talking. Now this is career currently, obviously, but let's look at.
If you rather Cody Bellinger over Kyle Tucker, God bless you. I think Brian Cashman should hire you in a minute.
I'm not. I'm saying. I'm not saying that Kyle Tucker is the better player, right? And I'm not saying the lefty swing would play very well at Yankee Stadium.
Of course it would.
What I'm saying is what Cody Bellinger brings to the Yankees. What you take Cody Bellinger off the Yankees this year, the Yankees aren't as good as they are.
Well, how old is Cody Bellinger now?
Let's see.
Oh, I thought this was. I'm sorry. I thought.
But it
30 exactly.
yes.
How old's Kyle Tucker?
I believe he's 30 as well.
Well, same age.
Oh, does that change anything for you?
28, 2 years younger.
I was gonna say something's not right. Bellinger's not. That does change for me big time.
But
It does.
Bellinger makes sense as a Yankee.
Can I be honest with you? You know who I'd want out of it? You know who I would really want out of everybody? You know who I'd really want?
Juan Soto.
That's right.
Whatever, Speedy. What do we got for football?
Guy's gonna have close to a 44. The guy's gonna have close to a 40-40 season. It's one, and everybody thought he was gonna be worse going to Citi Field.
Listen, somehow he went to Citi Field and he found out he's a burner. He's a stolen base machine.
Stolen base machine. He's gonna hit more home runs this year than he did with the Yankees last year.
Good. He's gonna steal more bases than he did as a Yankee too.
That's a fact. Well, by a mile.
He's just gonna hit more clutch home runs as a Yankee than he will as a Met.
Well, we'll see about that. The playoffs haven't happened yet. If he beats the Dodgers in the wild card series on the road, that's pretty good.
It could be.
Unless Ryan Helsley comes in.
Oh gosh.
Oof.
There you go.
Oof.
Billy Taylor Jr. Anyway.
All right. So it's a football game tonight, Josh.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I tell you, I don't understand why the Thursday night matchups are always as good as they are. Right? Like last
week was great.
Right, but overall.
Oh yeah, overall it's bad.
Thursday night football has this reputation of being like, all right, what's a terrible matchup we can throw out here? So it seems, right?
Can you imagine if this game was in like December and like 15-degree weather in Buffalo?
Dude,
God.
You know what I miss about the Thursday games? Do you remember the Color Rush uniforms?
No, God, stop it. Those things used to blind me. I used to think there was something wrong with the pixels on the TV.
Remember the Seahawks one with that lime green?
You remember how bright green the Jet one was with the freaking helmets? They were hideous. Looked like somebody threw up.
We got to bring that back.
I was like, what is that?
But Josh, who's playing tonight? Buffalo, Miami.
It's unfortunate.
I think your brother's going to tune in.
But you know what the crazy thing is? How much viewership are they going to get on Amazon for this game?
Quite a bit.
Listen, the Mets already played this afternoon. The Yankees don't play tonight. There's no wrestling tonight for me to watch.
Pretty sure Yankees play tonight.
Do they play tonight, the Yankees? Oh, they play Baltimore tonight. That's right.
Okay. I'm glad one of us is paying attention.
Yeah.
It's all right. That normally happens. Anyway, I think we had a couple of different last week. Mostly correct. Just looking at my stats overall, looking in the app to see what my record is for the first 2 weeks, Josh, I advise you start doing the same. But you know what we'll do? We'll make it into the app, and we'll
Hold on, watch this. Watch what I do. Watch. Speedy, what's mine and Eric's record through 2 weeks?
All right, so Eric has 5, you have 4. So Eric is up by 1 at the moment.
How did he get the he knew the records.
You know what? I think you need to change your handle to the guy who thinks you know sports. Yep.
No, I'm just gonna leave mine on my Twitter page or whatever it's called, so people can follow me.
All right,
That's what
fair.
social media people do.
23-9. 23-9 overall. Straight picks. Let's go. All right. You want to do some picks tonight?
We can, but really quickly, were you devastated about the Giants game last week or what? I know Speedy was. Speedy, were you upset? Speedy, come on the camera quick. Let's discuss this. Let's Speedy, come on camera. Let's have a giant conversation.
Without going into it as much because I don't want to ruin my "you're better than that."
Speedy,
I'm going to let Speedy take this one.
how disappointed were you when after Russie made that great throw to Malik, but then you were like, "Oh, sugars! I forgot Brandon Aubrey plays for the freaking Cowboys."
And he does. He's the new best long distance kicker in the NFL for the last 5 years.
Do you think they have to change something with the kicking? Do you think it's gotten too good?
No,
Like maybe change the goalposts.
There's still a lot of misses. Okay, there's just some guys who've perfected it and others that have not.
I'm glad. I'm gonna tell you something. I have Brandon Aubrey on my fantasy team. He got me 20.
Here we go, Speedy.
He got me 22 points. He got me 22 points last week. That's crazy for a kicker. Is that not, Speedy?
Listen,
Insane.
My opponent had him. Okay, that's all I'm going to say, and I lost by. Let's just say the kicking total. But anyway.
No, you blame the Giants.
Really quickly, shout out to my wife. She beat me in fantasy last week.
Wow.
There's an asterisk, though. There's an asterisk.
There's no asterisk. You lost.
Yeah, there is. You want to know why she beat me? You want to know who my quarterback is? Was
a guy that got hurt.
Joe Burrow. I'll do it.
You know what? I think maybe she needs to come on the show instead.
That's fine. I mean, CJ Stroud is my backup, but I just picked up Danny Dimes.
Oh, your season's gonna be back on track now.
The new Peyton Manning.
All right, Speedy, you take on the Giants against Cowboys.
Yeah, I never would imagine that. I thought their defense was still weak in some areas. Never expected that bad, but yeah, they definitely have ruined what was probably the best offensive game you're going to get all season. And who knows? Maybe Russell Wilson at this point, maybe he gets traded to one of those teams that need a quarterback.
How many seconds were left on the clock when they got to the field goal range? Was it 17?
Yeah, they did it earlier than expected. They had a lot of confidence in it. A lot of people were saying on the broadcast they should have ran a couple more plays, but they had that much confidence. And
the problem, what they were saying on the broadcast too, what the Giants' defense was, they were giving a what was the defense? They were doing a prevent defense, and I forget. I think it was who was doing the broadcast. They kept saying, "I don't know why you're doing a prevent defense. You're giving them 15, 20 yards already."
Yeah, forgot the kicker course.
And I thought the Giants actually were gonna. Let me rephrase. I thought the Cowboys were gonna kick themselves because the run to set up the field goal, right?
No pun intended.
Javonte Williams basically did what? Ran 2 yards and just fell down to make it a 64-yard field goal when there was more time for him to get more yards or whatever else. But he basically got through the line, sat right down. 64 yards. That's, okay. This is going to be tough. And what did Aubrey do? Right down Broadway and still had it by at least 10-plus yards, it seemed like.
Are we worried? We're not worried about Carter yet, are we?
No.
How he hasn't done anything in the 2 games?
No, I think he's being misused and is still hurt.
Bingo.
How do you misuse a defensive lineman? I don't understand. They're bringing him off the edge, aren't they?
Not as much as they should.
Different packages, not. See, I think it's a shame.
So then Bowen's got to be fired. So they got to fire Bowen then.
There's a lot of call for that already. We'll just say
Should
that.
fire Shane Bowen.
They said, Wink, where are you?
Yeah, no, Brian kicked him to the curb, buddy. You ain't going back on that one. Sorry. You could use Wink right now. Let me tell you, what Wink Martindale would do with that defensive line would be outrageous.
Yep.
He would bum rush them every play. I think Carter needs to just build into his body more. I think he's a little too small. He's got a little raw. He's got to build into that body more. We'll get there.
He'll get there.
Okay.
All right. So what do we have for picks this week? Which games are we diving into?
Alrighty.
I want to send this lead over you, Josh.
All right. So we'll start with one of the better games of next week. That's going to be in the 1 o'clock window. That is the Rams are at the Eagles and in Philadelphia. Eagles are favored by 3.5.
All right, Josh, I'll leave this. I see your thinking face on.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you remember playoff time last year? Eagles, Rams. Eagles looked like they handled everybody to win the Super Bowl and everything, except for one team in particular.
Yeah.
The Rams. The Rams got in a lot of trouble, right? Puka had a great game. Kupp had a great game. Kyron Williams, Matthew Stafford. Like, it was the team that really gave the Eagles the biggest fit last year. And I
They
think
would have won the Super Bowl probably if they would have beaten them.
that's very fair. I think the Rams are a better team this year than they were last year. Right? You bring in Devontae Adams, I think is a step up than Cooper Kupp is this year.
And then Taco Bell will have that effect on you, sure.
Say, Puka still Puka. Kyron is running the ball well. Kyron's backup, Blake Corum, is running the ball well.
I know.
Stafford is very smart. Game management, right? So it's kind of hard to, if you're the Eagles, to run the game management against the Rams like you can do against a lot of the other teams because of Stafford and the offense there, right? You look at the Eagles last week against the Chiefs, that game was a lot closer than it probably should have been, and the Chiefs are staggering and limping, offensively. Pacheco's still getting his legs under him, right? Kelsey is like wide receiver 1 for them currently. So against a good Rams team, 3.5. I like the Rams to cover the spread. I do think the Eagles take this game after all that. I know I'm hyping up the Rams and everything, but you know what? No, lock it. I'm taking the Rams in this one in an upset. I just convinced myself it's going to be the Rams. All that talk and everything. I'm not going back on it. I think the Rams are able to play the Philly game, right? Where they stay home in the box. Saquon will have a good game, not great game. And if they can keep them out of 2-yard line, the tush push is irrelevant, right? They can score with them. The defense seems to be strong still. Give me the Rams in this one, Josh. Now tell me why I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it too. The issue that I have, it's always something my father has always preached to me, which is West Coast teams traveling to the East Coast for 1 o'clock games is very difficult. To me, that is a very difficult task to take on. The Rams defense has actually been the one shining thing, right, Speedy? That's been really good, way better than we all thought it would be. Is the Rams defense has been fabulous. The offense is what we're talking about, but the defense has been great. Their linebackers are flying all over the field if you see what they've been doing, and their pass rush too. I like the Eagles in this game, honestly, because it's really when it comes down to it. The 3.5 is fair. What it really comes down to me is it's going on the road. It's the 1 o'clock start time. If it was at a 4:25, I'd say, okay, this could be an even game because then that's 1 o'clock for their time, but that's a 10 a.m. start time for them. That's a West Coast travel to the East Coast. That's a lot. That's a lot to ask. So to me, I like the Eagles in this one for sure.
All right, Josh, you were hinting at some backup quarterbacks. 2 of them are going to play this week on some pretty good teams. The Cincinnati Bengals.
Let Eric take this one first. Hold on a second. What is it?
So it's battle of the backup quarterbacks, but on 2 pretty good teams, though. The Bengals at the Vikings. Vikings are 3-point favorites at home.
All right, so this is funny because let's go through who the quarterbacks are, right? The Bengals have Browning starting. The Vikings have Carson Wentz starting. What year is it? What is going on here? So here's where I struggle with, right? Because you're looking at the Vikings, Carson Wentz. The Vikings offense, I don't think can be any worse than it's been, other than a quarter, aka the fourth quarter against the Bears. I don't think the Vikings offense can be any worse. You can see Justin Jefferson actually making some catches, making some plays because Carson Wentz isn't afraid to throw the ball, right? Aaron Jones is injured, which means you're going to have more full time of who? Jordan Mason, big bruising back, has speed, plays very well. You look at the Bengals then, right? Browning coming in does have the rapport with T. Higgins, with Jamar Chase. Do you kind of think that the Vikings will stack the box so Chase Brown kind of gets taken out of it, and you're going to force Browning to beat you? Listen, Browning wasn't no slouch. When he took over for Burrow, 2 years ago, roughly? I want to say 2 seasons ago. He fared well. He fared very well. He knows the offense. He knows the team, right? So the difference to me is going to be the quarterback play. I wouldn't be surprised it's a high-scoring game between these defenses right now.
Oh, defense.
The defenses are kind of
Say.
right? Yeah, no, I mean, look, the Vikings had no answers for Atlanta last week, right? Bijan ran all over. Algier had a touchdown. Penix looked good, right?
That's right, my boy.
Their defense didn't look like that tough Vikings defense. Browning knows the offense. The Vikings still have to go against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, right? Whereas the offense for the Vikings, like, you stop Justin Jefferson, what else do you have to do, right? Like, Jordan Mason will probably have a pair of touchdowns, but you stop Justin Jefferson, and that seems to be the success. Can the Bengals defense do it? I think one possession they do, and that's why they win.
You trust in the Bengals defense? That's something else. Speedy with God, that's like trusting the Chargers to win a playoff game.
It's against Carson Wentz.
It's crazy. We are only at week 3, and we're getting a Jake Browning versus a Carson Wentz game. This is what we're getting. By the way, really quickly, if Kevin O'Connell gets Carson Wentz to have a decent game, put him in the top 3 coaching category in the league. Okay, that's it. Done. I've seen enough.
Winning coach of the year.
Yeah. What's the over/under in this game for points total, Speedy? I'm kind of curious with that one. It's got to be low. Speedster.
I think he's looking.
I am looking.
Oh, you were looking. Okay.
It is 43 and a half.
That's a 43 and a half?
Well, let the offense shine.
That's being generous. You sure? I was going to say 34 and a half. Yes, it's going to be brutal. Where's it? In Minnesota?
Is that Minnesota?
God, this game's going to suck. I mean, this is going to be bad. I'm just like thinking out loud. I'm like, this. If you have YouTube, if you have the package for the NFL, don't watch this game. Avoid it at all costs because it's going to make you hate football. It'll be like watching high school. Run the ball, just run it. That's it. To me, Eric. Yeah, this is bad. Minnesota has a good defense enough. I think to be able to come out. They're the home team. Browning's not a good quarterback, right? Can we all agree on that? I mean, come on, stop.
So you're taking the Vikings and our
definitely. I would take the Vikings.
What
it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be like 17-14 14, 17, 10. It's going to be something like that. It's going to be bad. It's going to be brutal to watch.
It'll be an offensive.
I don't even know how this is even going to be a competent football game to even want to. If Speedy's correct and the over-under is 41.5, I'm going to place a bet right now and take the under on that one.
So I'd say
massively.
41.5 to 43.5, depending on what site you're looking at, but it's anything in that range.
I don't care what it is. It should be in the 40s. I wouldn't be happy if it's 14 to 10.
And the
That's how
last,
bad it's going to be.
the last game, who we matching up with here before we get into you better than that?
All right, we'll finish it off with the Broncos and the Chargers. Broncos are 2.5-point favorites. Chargers undefeated. Denver 1-1 after losing to Josh's new fantasy quarterback, Daniel Jones.
That's
Josh,
right.
Josh, who's winning and why?
I like the Chargers, man. It kills Speedy. He hates it. But
we're going for the 2010 Chargers approach. They'll be 13-3 and lose in the first round. Is that what we're going?
Hey, listen, but they got Jim as the coach, though. At least, not Staley or anything like that. You know, what I mean, it's a little different. I think this is finally the time when Justin Herbert puts it together, and I think really he's got the right guy. I mean, obviously, Keenan Allen drank he was in Chicago last year. And he said, "Boy, I got to get the hell out of there because this place sucks." So I got to go somewhere else. And he goes to the Chargers, and
he's like wide receiver 1, Quentin.
Yeah, it's but all of a sudden, Speedy knows this too. All of a sudden, Quentin Johnson catches every football thrown to him now. It's unbelievable.
Wide receiver 1, Ladd McConkey is,
Ladd McConkey looks good. He looks really good. And the Chargers now they lost Khalil Mack for the next month, which could hurt a little bit. But Derwin James looks fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
I like where this Charger team is heading. I think they're the best team in the AFC West.
I agree.
I'm going to go with the Chargers. I like them in this one.
All right, so Josh, out of the 3 games, we have one difference. We're agreeing on 2 differences.
No. 2 of the 3. No, you picked the Bengals and you picked the Rams.
2 out of 3. So not bad. It'll be nice when we break even, basically.
Watch Denver win next. Watch Denver win on Sunday.
Fair.
When's that defense gonna show up? Hello, where's all the turnovers I was expecting?
So speaking of turnovers, speaking of defenses underperforming, speaking of all that, it's time for you better than that. So with all that said, you kind of touched upon it before. With the New York Giants playing prevent that late in the game, giving up that many yards for a 64-yard field goal, and then, you know what? Let's throw it to George Pickens, corner of the end zone. Short time. Let's just drive down the field. Let's just do that. The Giants are playing 15 yards back. Why? So they can be in field goal range and lose? How many times have we seen this with it doesn't matter who the defensive coordinator is for the Giants. They play too soft late in the game too often. Happens every time. And guess what? You know who's the biggest factor most times with it? Is the tight end. Against Dallas, the Giants forget they have to cover a tight end, whether it is Ferguson, whether it's our old buddy there. Why am I drawing a blank? I see
Jason Witten.
Jason Witten.
Jason Witten used to clobber the crap out of you guys.
It doesn't matter the Giants coaching regime. It doesn't matter the Cowboys coaching regime. They can't cover the tight end against Dallas, and they play too deep. Prevent defense late in the game, kills them and makes them lose every time. Can we figure it out one year, please? Come on. You're better than that.
Speedy, what's yours?
All right, so I'm going to go with more of a general one. It's these a lot of these fake NFL Twitter engagement sites that try to just get these videos, post these videos, get these overreactions just for clicks. And the most recent one is obviously the Lions and Bears just played. Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell are going out after the post game huddle and post game just congratulate each other. And he's like, "Oh, did Dan Campbell just expose something to Ben Johnson or trash talking when he was just whispering in his ear? Like, just silly. Like, you're not even like going at it. If they were jousting or something, that's one thing. They weren't even doing anything like that. So all these fake engagement sites, you're better than that.
My better than that is the NFL letting Tom Brady have a headset on while the game was going on Monday night. That was absurd. He's part owner of the Raiders, and he's also broadcasting on Fox. It's time. If this was any other if this was anybody else in the league, they wouldn't care. It's the NFL's got to give him an ultimatum. And I don't want to hear that he wasn't in the ear of Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll with the plays. I don't want to hear that in the owner's box. That either. And again, don't forget the Raiders are playing the Bears week 4. And I believe that's a Fox game as well.
But
So
Josh,
I think that's the Fox game of the week.
Tom Brady has never been accused of cheating, though.
Yeah, I'm just like the NFL's got to give him an ultimatum. It's either you're the owner or you're on Fox. It's one or the other. Like it's silly, it's ridiculous. You're better than that. So to me, I think that's it. Check us out on worldwidesportsradio.com, YouTube, Instagram, Periscope, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Alexa Smarts, all smart speakers, everything, and so much more. Again, a lot of birthday shout-outs we had too as well, which was amazing. You know, Eric, your cousin, and of course your son Chris, my niece, and of course my mom, which is fabulous. Great job. Any last words before we sign off for the evening?
Yes. I'm going to laugh when the Miami Dolphins upset the Bills tonight. I can't say it with a straight face. I'm sorry. I was trying so hard.
They're going to talk more about the new stadium across the street than they are about that football game. That's what's going to happen.
Josh,
Speedy,
last one. I'm putting the under over 9 p.m. before you fall asleep tonight, Josh.
Oh, dude, I'm passing out by 8 o'clock. I'm out. I'm out.
The under, folks.
Deuces. Speedy, any last words before we go?
Real question: what'll happen first? Shane Bowen getting fired or Josh falling asleep?
Oh no, that shouldn't be it. What will happen first? Me falling asleep or Mike McDaniel getting fired during halftime?
Nah, Shane Bowen's going first.
I don't know about. I think McDaniel could get fired, man.
Maybe.
But apparently, according to Stephen Ross, he said there's no playoff mandate for Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel this year.
Listen, I'm just going to watch to see if the game gets that out of hand that Tyreek Hill pulls and Antonio Brown halftime.
The last time the Miami Dolphins won a playoff game, they won in the Kingdom in Seattle.
Right.
The last time they won a playoff game, folks.
The Hawks were in the NFC back then, for context.
Really quick, also, before we go, I had a conversation with Errol yesterday. He's convinced the Honors are more likely to get Kaprizov than the Rangers are. I don't know how that.
You're listening to Worldwide Sports Radio.
I don't understand that. I don't understand that one. Speedy, I don't see that one. Considering he has a no trade list, and he already told the Wild who his teams are. So yeah. Check out Drop in the Mouth every Monday and Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Check out Snowman in the morning, and of course our show Game On Thursdays at 6 o'clock. We'll see if I'm on the phone again or if I'm that's always a mystery. Am I on the phone or am I going to be on the computer? We'll never know. Guys, always a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I know, Eric, you've got a massively busy weekend working. Speedy, enjoy your time editing and doing what you need to do and all that fun stuff. I'm going to go and figure myself out. You've been checking and watching Game On Live on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. We'll talk to you next week, everybody. Enjoy your sports. See ya. Have a good night.
You're listening to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there?